I'd like to bring this post to everyone's attention. It was posted not a while ago. I think it was before the second congressional UFO hearing. It's a post by Jeremy Corbell on his Twitter account. It goes like this. Imagine this extraordinary belief, likely fact. Lockheed Martin tried to do the right thing for the United States of America, to transfer a UFO, an actual, whole, physical, non-human intelligence, NHI designed and built, possibly interstellar, space-time travel capable craft that they had in their possession at the time, likely still do. Like street address is known by folks such as David Grusch, as said on the Joe Rogan podcast, but many other American journalists and specific American citizens who are true patriots and have constitutional understanding and federal lawyers who are fully informed. This was attempted to be facilitated in 2007-2008 by the vice president of Lockheed Martin at the time, likely a true American patriot who I have not had the pleasure of meeting personally, but I hope to be able to. Who was the vice president at that time? And then he goes, and that transfer to the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, was an attempt to bring back this craft into the legal and constitutional overnight of the United States of America. However, this material transfer was inhibited by the, at the time, head director of science and technology for the CIA. That's crazy. Now, why is this important? Is because there are a couple correlations to what Jeremy is stating here. So the first one is the EW notes, which I have them here. I've printed the whole 15-page document. This was a conversation that happened in 2002, I think, between Eric Davis and Thomas Wilson. We'll talk about more in probably one of the next videos. And the second correlation was a statement by Louis Elizondo when he testified in front of the Congress in November last year. And he confirmed this attempted transfer from Lockheed to the DIA, which was blocked by the CIA. Now, there is a clip attached to this post by Jeremy. Let's have a look. Let me just put my headphones on.
I think it is entirely feasible that this UFO cover-up exists within a private company.
Lockheed Martin.
Or Lockheed.
Lockheed was one of those involved.
Lockheed wanted to divest their NHI, non-human intelligence, UAP or UFO materials, a material transfer of UAP that was supposed to happen to OSAP from Lockheed, and that was shut down specifically by CIA-involved individuals. And there's an individual who was head of science and technology at that time. This craft had a streamlined configuration suitable for aerodynamic flight, but no intakes, no exhaust, no wings or control surfaces. In fact, it appeared not to have an engine, fuel tanks, or fuel. So, is this what they were hoping to get to study from Lockheed? Do you know?
Yeah. Yes.
There is non-human technology, something from somewhere else, whether it's ET or interdimensional, something that we did not make, that crashed, that we've been analyzing, that's been stashed in presumably special access programs, controlled by defense contractors, presumably funded secretly by the public. Not even members of Congress get to see.
It was Dr. Edgar Mitchell, Sixth Man to Walk on the Moon, a guy that I filmed a bunch with. When he died, this memo was in his archive. It wasn't something the public was supposed to see. But additionally, when this got out, It shows this guy Wilson, Admiral Wilson, who I believe was the J2 at the time. The J2 has oversight over all the black budget SAPs. And he was furious that he didn't have access to one of them, let's say, I don't know, at Lockheed. Whose job is it to not let people know the fundamental nature of reality that we live in?
As we've always suspected, the CIA has a lot of communication and oversight and kind of their hands in a lot of these retrieval programs.
Let's say Marco Rubio convinces the Pentagon or Lockheed Martin, let me into the hangar, let me see the craft. Oh, there's the bodies. He gets to see that with his own eyes and then goes back and what? Can he say it?
You've got a guy who did the investigation, provided that to the inspector general, and said, here is the street address of where this UFO material is being held. Can we assume that this craft that Dr. Lakatsky has direct firsthand knowledge of is exactly what Lockheed has?
You're telling us, you told us, because you were allowed to tell us, that our government has a UFO in its possession and has been able to access the inside of it, right?
Yes.
Well,
It's delicate. It's
Why is it delicate?
our enemies. And our enemies, you can be sure they're listening to this show right now.
I don't think anybody involved with the cover-up should face any prison time. Let's move on.
I'm with you on that up to a point. There are lines that should not be crossed.
Like what?
If you threaten to kill somebody, or if you actually do silence them through violence.
Got you.
That's
Agreed.
I got in touch with Lockheed Martin a few weeks ago and I said, look, there's these allegations that you have in your possession non-human materials. Do you, Lockheed Martin? And they were like, any questions to do with UAP needs to go to the US government. I'm like, okay, do I also need to go to the US government to find out if you've got Santa's sleigh as well?
Wow. What do you think? He also said something very interesting here, that Dr. James Lakatsky is a first-hand witness of the actual craft. Can you imagine that? To know about such thing? That is insane. To have a knowledge of an actual craft and that you're granted access to it, to whatever they were doing. How does he even sleep at night knowing what he does and not being able to tell anyone else because he signed NDAs? I'm very curious to what people think about this. Have you ever came across this attempted transfer from Lockheed to the DIA? Like, I want to know, like, how many people back then knew about this? Guys, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video. Ciao.